This week in history.
Three, two, one, zero, and liftoff.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
All right, Johnny. So first up I got for you is that the Watergate burglars are going to be arrested on June 17th, 1972. So if you don't remember what Watergate was, it's when a bunch of guys broke into the DNC and got caught.
I am not a crook.
I'm not a crook.
Right?
So
that
early
wasn't related to that.
No, it was related. This is it.
Yeah, that was related. Yes, there we go.
Yeah, this is that. That's it. This is what gets him in trouble.
Booyah.
So on in the early morning of June 17th, 1972, 5 men are arrested when they break into the DNC headquarters at the Watergate building, which is a hotel apartment complex thing that the DNC is at.
Okay.
The men that were arrested were found with burglary tools, cameras, film, and 3 pen-sized tear gas guns, which I found hilarious because if you had tear gas guns, why didn't you shoot the fucking police?
Also, I'm sorry. Wait, pen-sized?
Yeah, like
You want to know why they didn't shoot him, Tommy?
because it would have been very effective.
Because what the fuck is a pin-sized amount of tear gas gonna do to anybody?
Mildly
Unless
irritate
it's right in their face.
their eye. It might mildly irritate their eye. You don't know, Jack.
I mean, maybe, yeah. Maybe they'll sneeze a couple times.
These men had rented a room at the Watergate, which is funny. Like, nothing says smart criminal like renting a room at the building you're going to break into.
I mean, how else are they gonna get in? Oh, the breaking into part. Yeah, they could do that
Yeah.
with the burglary tools.
Well,
Could've
they
used
rented a
those.
room, and of course, the room they found sophisticated surveillance equipment and bugging equipment. So
Huh.
we know what they were trying to do. They
Well,
weren't stealing
I mean,
anything.
allegedly.
Allegedly,
We can make assumptions based on the context clues.
This is where they would have gotten away with it had they not been completely stupid.
If it weren't for those meddling kids.
So 3 of the men were Cuban exiles.
Okay.
The 4th guy was a Cuban American.
Okay.
So if you would just let those 4 people, you would have been like, they're Cubans being weird. Like, I don't. You would chalk it up to whatever.
They're doing their Cuban stuff. It's a cultural thing.
This is like Scarface. Say hello to my little friend time frame. So
Yeah.
would have just chalked up to Cubans being Cubans. But the 4th guy, Johnny, the 4th guy's name was James W. McCord Jr., who was former CIA. So when they arrested him, they went, "That's funny. What are you doing?"
That is interesting that a former CIA agent might be with them.
They all claimed that they were anti-communists, and the DNC, for some reason, were communists at that time, which I guess is kind of along the same line of what we call them today.
Well, and
I mean,
also socialists.
Find any Republican, they're like, they're communists.
Yeah, and also socialists.
Well, yeah, same thing. Anyways, on June 18th, they find out that McCord is on the payroll. He is a salaried employee for the security coordinator for the Nixon's re-election committee.
Uh-oh.
Huh. That's weird.
Huh.
Why is the security coordinator for the re-election committee of Nixon breaking into the DNC?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, they caught him breaking.
Well, I guess not allegedly.
Well, they caught him.
But what's he
breaking
doing? What's the stuff he's allegedly trying to do?
Basically what it boils down to, over this whole conspiracy, which is why essentially in a very short nutshell why Nixon resigns is, well, he kind of hired him to illegally spy on the DNC, which is funny because after researching and doing this stuff, like, this is like commonplace nowadays.
Oh, yeah. No,
The DNC paid an MI6 guy to have a dossier compiled against Trump.
Yeah.
The DNC or the RNC, the Republicans, allegedly had the Russians hack into the DNC's email database.
No, we've gotten to the point where people keep doing such awful, horrid things that all the mildly awful things we just let slide now. I mean, that's been Trump's entire presidency, is him just outdoing himself with terribleness so that we forget about the previous terrible thing he did.
Yeah.
And it works.
Flirting with politics. We gotta get off that topic. We're flirting with politics, Johnny.
I mean, those are facts, though.
Well, those are facts. Yeah, they are
wrong.
facts. God. And God, you would think. I thought this is random 2 seconds. I thought the last election cycle we would never have two worst candidates put together ever again.
Wrong.
I was wrong. They just keep getting better.
Wrong.
Anyways, the last thing I got for us today, Johnny, is that the first Juneteenth is celebrated on June 19th, 1865.
Ah.
I am horribly, horribly guilty of not knowing what the hell Juneteenth is. So I'm going to ask you, Johnny, do you know what Juneteenth is?
I only because I learned about it this year. It was the day that slavery ended, right? Or a day that we celebrate.
Great. So I feel like a complete entitled white asshole for not knowing what I saw Juneteenth on my calendar this year, and I thought, what the hell bullshit is this? Some stupid made up holiday for some dumb thing.
No, I'd never heard about it. The only reason I know about it is because I saw a bunch of stuff on Twitter and about it, and I'm like, wait, what Juneteenth? I'm like, wait, that's been a thing? Like, this isn't
that's been a thing since 1865, apparently.
This is the first year I've heard of it.
To be fair, though, in America, we don't go to school in June, so we wouldn't have learned about it in school.
So why on earth would we learn about it?
I don't know.
We're not all actively in school, so why the hell would we know about this one thing?
See? We're not actively...
It's fair.
It's a holiday. Well, people still don't know the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day and all that junk. So
people know where the 4th of July is. So
sort of.
I mean, it's when we won World War II. So
yeah, exactly. Well,
freed all the Indians.
It is what's recognized as the end of slavery in the U.S. Kinda. It's also known as Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, or my favorite, Celebration Day.
Look at
It marks when Union General Gordon Granger read federal orders at the Galveston, Texas courthouse that previously enslaved people in Texas were now free. 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was given, Texas is finally getting word of it.
Wait. You guys were serious about that?
Well,
all of them?
It's a
all right.
So we talked about the Emancipation Proclamation before in This Week in History, but essentially what it did is it freed slaves in rebelling states.
Right.
Texas was a rebelling state.
Yep.
They were freed 2.5 years ago, but the Union Army had like little to no presence in Texas because Texas was way the fuck out there.
Yeah.
And
so they were just kind of like, make us.
Yeah, we couldn't force them.
And they're like, well,
it's not like
we told you to.
Yeah, it's not like in Virginia when the Emancipation Proclamation was read that the slaves were like, "We're free."
Yeah.
And the masters were like, "Well, shit. This foreign country made an order, so I guess I'll follow it." It was the soldiers coming in and saying, "Yeah, you're going to do it now."
Yeah.
But I say slavery ended because it ended sort of. Because here's a kicker.
Are you going to turn this into a for-profit prison thing? Because I'm on board.
No,
but I don't know if we have the time.
I'm not. This is legitimate as we would
consider. Because that's just legalized slavery. Can we?
Not according to the 13th Amendment, Johnny. Which is what I'm getting at. So the 13th Amendment, which essentially states that slavery is illegal unless you're a prisoner.
Ding, ding, ding.
Dig, dig, dig.
Unless you're this type of slave.
Yeah. It was not... It was not ratified and signed by all the states until December 6th, 1865. So slavery didn't officially end in the Constitution until December 6th, 1865. Now, you might be thinking...
Sounds like semantics to me, Tommy.
Except it's not, because not all slave states rebelled against the Union. You had Kentucky, Missouri, Maryland, and Delaware that did not secede from the Union.
And so were they sitting there being like, do we get to keep them?
So still technically, after the Emancipation Proclamation, were able to hold their slaves.
So they're like, guys, since we were so good for you this whole time, can we just keep doing slavery, please?
And they were allowed to keep doing slavery until December 6th.
I guess.
Yeah.
For a bit. And that's This Week in History.